Welcome back to Glamour Unfiltered, hosted by me, Josh Smith. And today we're joined by my queen. It's Meghan Trainor.
Hello, hi.
Honey, how are you?
We are running.
We're
great.
Running. New album is out
Yes,
right
it is.
now. Yes.
Treat myself.
Treat yourself. What is Meghan Trainor 3.0? Who is she?
Oh, she is older and wiser. I don't know. I've learned so much about things I did not know about, like anxiety and how life goes like this. I understand now.
Yeah.
I see it. And now we're climbing back up, and I'm very happy. And I have the love of my life, who's like number one.
How do you think finding the love of your life has helped you?
It's crazy because when I was going through like my surgery, I was just dating him. It was like very early on dating, and I was like, okay, so nice to get to know you. I have to be silent for like a month and a half. And it was very frustrating if I was furious or like I wanted to say something but I couldn't, and I would just get so upset, and then I would get in my head and think like, oh, I'm never gonna be a singer ever again. And it was crazy because I'm like, I got the love of my life. I have a beautiful home. I have a great career. But I still went into this dark place of terror. It turns out it was anxiety.
What do you think you learned about yourself in that period of your life?
I need to ask for more help, and I need to speak up because the schedule is crazy, and not a lot of people see what your schedule is. My voice, I know it can't handle it, and we would talk about it, but I still had to get another surgery. Like I felt like I failed because I pushed myself too far. I sang too many shows. I was doing radio shows after a whole tour, and I needed surgery. And I was like, how did I get here again? It's only been a year.
And also, you've been talking quite a bit about social anxiety and anxiety in itself. How long have you had it for?
My dad was like, you've always been a little worrier. I'm always like, but Dad, what if? My whole life, I guess. But I never had the physical reactions. My second surgery a few years ago, like maybe 3 years ago, in the beginning of this album, I was having like vibrations, or I'd be burning up, and I'm like, oh, I have a fever today. And each day was a new thing. Like one day my back felt like it was on fire, and I was like, oh man, I think I'm going crazy. And I went to the emergency room a couple times because I was like, I'm allergic to this food and my throat's closing. And they were like, oh sweetheart, it's just your brain. And you're like, no, look.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's real. But the psychiatrist told me, like, your chemicals are off. You're like this, and we got to get you back to this. And I was like, that's the first thing that's ever made sense to me. Thank you so much. I went on medicine, and I asked for a very low dose. I was like, I don't want to change or anything, and it didn't change me at all, and except for help my panic. And I haven't had a panic attack since. Everyone has this little stigma against it, but my doctor said to me, why can you use an inhaler for your lungs, but you can't use medicine for your brain? And I was like,
Another revelation, right?
yeah.
Have you learned there's a lot of power in talking and sharing about your experience?
Yeah, I know for me, I heard like Carson Daly, he did a whole segment and explained what happened to him in a panic attack. And my parents haven't really had one, or they couldn't really understand. They're like, don't go to the emergency room. Like, that's so much money. Just come over here and we'll rub your head. I'm like, I need an oxygen tank or I'm going to die, like, tonight. And Carson Daly explained it perfectly, and I sent that video to my mom. And she, like, was bawling and was like, I didn't know this is what you felt. And now I understand. Because you can't, like, explain what's happening except for, like, I'm dying. I'm pretty sure I'm dying. And so that was, like, so helpful and made me feel like, oh, I'm not alone at all. Like, he helped me. If I can speak up about it and tell people so they don't feel alone, then, like, superb. I'm down to talk about it.
What's it feel like in that moment when it happens?
Death? I don't know. It feels like we were on a boat the other night, and we were all dizzy because I was doing a private gig, trying to make that money. And we were rocking, and I was like, this is the beginning of a panic attack for me. And then my throat closes, and then I'm certain that I can't breathe. And I'm like, this is how I'm gonna die, like right here, right now, just panicking. I remember in the very beginning when I would try to learn about it, I watched this video, and just hearing about it, I fell over and was like full panic. I was like, uh-oh, I just triggered myself. Then I learned you could trigger yourself. And I was like, oh my God. Like, the world was a terrifying place. And
It was
now
almost
I
like there's
can
no
talk
escape
about it.
in that
Yeah.
situation, right?
Oh my God, I was trapped. My doctor's like, at least you're not stuck in your house and like you relate a room to a panic. I'm like, oh, I do. I can't sleep in my bedroom right now because that's where I have panic attacks. And I would change up my whole house to be like, we're sleeping in here now because it's a new day, a new room. I'm fine. Like, that's what we were trying to do to switch things up. I had to help Daryl, my husband. I had to teach him, like, here's what I need you to do in these moments. I need you to not be like, are you okay? Are you okay? What's wrong? Talk to me. I'm like, nope, just tell me that I'm breathing and that everything's fine and rub my back and shut up.
What has also helped you, apart from the medicine?
Talking about it. And my husband and I are like, we're trying to be very positive. We used to write down like 5 things we're grateful for every day. And I just got lazy. He's still writing his journal. But moments like that where he's like, look up, look how awesome this is. And he would sing to me, like, out of key, this terrible song we wrote that's like, we live the best life. And we would try to sing it with each other. And yeah, so I think having my best friend with me, my family with me, everywhere I go is mandatory.
Do you think this experience has made you more grateful for the success that you've had?
It kind of made me forgot about all of it, which was sad. Most of the time, I don't feel successful and I don't feel like I did it. But like Dr. Phil interviewed me and he started with all the things I've accomplished. And I was like,
It's
what?
a lot.
I was like, oh my God. He's like, yeah, that's a lot. I was like, I forgot about all of that. Like, I've been stuck in right now. What am I doing right now? And that's not the point. Like, I have to remember all the amazing moments that happened and realize why I get to do what I get to do.
Yeah. Because I think you become, for so many people, such a celebration of this much lauded term, self-love. And it's difficult to learn to love yourself, right? How have you learned to love yourself?
To champion yourself is a weird thing, but it's like, no, everyone should be like, go me, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to get that message out of like, you're allowed to like love yourself and you know, be your favorite person.
And be your best friend,
Be your
right?
best friend, Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
Dr. Phil! Yeah, Dr. Phil was like, the way you talk about yourself, would you ever say those things to your best friend? And I was like, no. I would never say those things because they're so mean. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm so mean to myself. I'm my biggest bully. Like, you know, when you're in a room and you think everyone's talking about you or like, I'm sure you're paranoid and stuff. It's just you being your worst enemy.
Yeah, it's
like,
just your head.
Nobody cares.
Because everyone's just obsessed with themselves in a way, right?
Yeah.
They're not
all
obsessing
doing the
over
same
you.
exact thing
Yeah.
in their heads.
Yeah, they're just like, what am I
And
doing?
once I learned that, I go to like events now and parties now, and I'm like, I don't give a what. Like, I just enjoy and I did it the other night, and I had the best time.
Yeah. One of the things you said to me the other day when we were talking is, I remember this because I thought about it for quite a while afterwards, when you were saying that you were like dancing on stage, singing, I'm all about that bass. And everyone was like, yes, honey, she's feeling herself.
Yes.
But inside, you weren't feeling yourself.
Yeah, in the very beginning. Because I wrote that song as like, I wish this was on the radio. I could really use it. And like songs like that weren't on the radio. So when I was told I'm going to sing it, I was like, okay. It's not like really how I feel. I've been insecure my whole life, but like how fun would it be if I felt like this? And when I would perform it, the crowd would go wild, especially when I did Booty Back. Like, that was my moment. I was like, I had never danced in front of people. Like, imagine shaking my butt in front of this entire crowd and they're screaming, like, praising it. I'm like, wow, like, that'll get anyone confident. That was the best therapy I could have ever asked for.
How's your relationship with your body and yourself changed?
It's great. We're friends now. Hey.
Yeah.
Especially with my husband, we're all about like, we want a sea of children. We want many kids, and we want to live till we're 120. So the goal is to live long and be healthy. So we work out and we try to eat as healthy as we can, but we'll like spoil ourselves, treat ourselves every now and then with some pizza. Nicki Minaj the other day told me that she loved my butt, and I was like,
oh my God, that's the best compliment in the world!
in the world!
Nicki
Like,
Minaj loves your butt, honey!
She's like, you got a great ass, and I was like, oh.
You're
Oh
literally
my
like, that is
God.
going on my tombstone.
I was like, yeah, I was like, oh, I'm good. Life is complete.
Yeah.
So I've been very confident lately. But yeah, I'll have my days where I'll be like this hotel, don't tell them where, but like mirrors everywhere
Yeah.
where they don't need to be in the bathroom. When you're sitting down to pee, there's mirrors.
And you're like,
I
I do not need to see this
Jesus.
reflected back.
Yeah. But my husband usually will catch me and he'll be like, hey, stop that. You're amazing. You're gorgeous. Tell yourself. And I'm like, you're amazing. You're gorgeous. In the mirror. But like,
you
it
need to
works.
tell yourself.
I need to, yeah. Because when you hear that, all those bad thoughts will
Yeah. Let
slide
go away.
Yeah.
Would you say you've learned to let go
Yeah.
more?
Yeah.
What's that been like for you to be able to let go?
And it's like a switch I have of like I just don't care what people think right now, and it's like one of the most impossible things to do is like obviously to not care, and I care about what everyone thinks, but like sometimes like instead of having social anxiety or wanting to curl up in a ball and leave early and cry, I'm like, no, I'm gonna enjoy myself for these few hours and I'm gonna shine. And I was like the light of the party. I was dancing when people were sitting and I was like, I don't care what anyone thinks.
Yeah. If you could sit the you down, who started off in this music industry, you could sit her down right here, right now. I'm her.
Like my 19-year-old self?
Yeah, what would you want to say to her?
Don't worry. Everything's gonna be amazing. And even when it's not amazing, something great will come out of that. Like even when you feel really depressed and you got your second surgery, you're gonna have the love of your life there, rubbing your feet and making sure that you're okay. And your family gets better and better. And they'll all live around you very soon.
Oh my God, that's so powerful, hon. You're amazing.
I was so alone at 19.
Are you not alone anymore?
No. I didn't get to have my family there. Are you gonna cry?
I feel like I'm actually about
You're
to
like
cry.
shaking.
I was like, that really hit
I
me.
should have cried. It's
I
like
never
crazy. She
feel
was
like
so
emotionally
alone.
like, I was like, whoa.
I was looking into my soul.
Yeah.
You were there.
I
was
felt like I was actually like 19-year-old you in that
Yeah.
moment. Well, I think you're amazing.
I love you.
Love you.
You're amazing.
Thank you, babe.
Is this it?
That's it.
I love you.
Big love, honey.